Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia or Sheree Talaya, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and we have wonderful guests. And tonight, our conversation is going to move into what I think is a very important space, and you should, after what happened a couple years ago, health, freedom, and the systems that shape both. I'll be speaking with Matt Hazen, the creator of a masterpiece, as we discuss the current situation surrounding Dr. Robert O. Young as well, and the deeper questions it raises about truth. Um, the treatment of those who challenge and the treatment of those who challenge established narratives. I meant to add that this is written in the description of this video, so you can read over it later if you like. But there's a lot of emotion around these topics, and rightly so. But clarity matters, and grounding matters, and staying present in the midst of it all matters even more. So I'm glad you're with us tonight. And at the core, again, we're going to talk about health freedom and about MasterPeace and about Dr. Robert O. Young. So let me bring Matt on. He has had conversations with him just recently, too. So welcome, Matt.
Hello, hello. How are you today, Gil?
I'm good. I'm going to switch places with you. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. I am good. And I understand that I don't know where you want to start. If you want to talk about your experience with Dr. Young, or if you want to talk about MasterPeace or health freedom, wherever you want to start is
Uh,
good
you
with
know,
me.
um, Me and Dr. Robert Oldham Young, we have a very unique relationship. He is definitely my most impactful mentor I've ever known. He's astutely known as the most published peer-reviewed scientist of our time. So he's published more articles than anyone alive in terms of double-blinded peer-reviewed articles, which is the scientific gold standard for what is considered valid or creditable scientific or medical information. And we it's been a blessing to see how he will put his time, energy, and focus like I've never seen before behind things that he truly sees as world improving things, such as masterpiece. And that's really where our relationship started, because we had a formula called masterpiece that had done a study that had never been done before in the world and hasn't been done since, testing the levels in human beings of graphene oxide and hydrogel and PFOs and PFOAs. And when we got back the results after they had been taking masterpiece, the results were so amazing that I was quite frankly way in over my head and didn't know what to do, because we started getting attacked and
I
from all
remember that.
angles. Yeah.
I
And
remember.
so um, I asked the study coordinator at the time, Caroline Mansfield, what I should do from here. And she told me that there was a guy out there, his name was Dr. Robert Young, and that I needed to get a hold of that man. And if anybody could help in a situation like this, it was him. And so I began, he has published 60 books. He's published books that have sold over 10 million copies. He's been consultants for different presidencies, right or wrong, however we feel about politics. His information was considered quality enough that Bill Clinton and Barack Obama was asking him for help on their diet and lifestyle choices. He was Tony Robbins' keynote speaker. A lot of people are familiar with Tony Robbins. He's a well-known speaker. He was his keynote speaker for a number of years. Tony Robbins also wrote the foreword in his very first book. So he's really the biggest frontier and pioneer of our time. And for every time that we get a chance to listen to him help us with knowledge that gives us the most important thing to our life, the quality of our life, which is our health. Because, you know, now that I spend so much of my time traveling the world and talking in various places all the time in big rooms of doctors and, you know, people with titles and different accolades and huge amounts of successes and so forth, I can always find common ground by saying, hey, picture the one in your life you care the very most about. And if you had the chance and their health was failing, you guys had nowhere to go to, and you had the chance to give up what you have gotten in your life in terms of money and success and titles, and you could give it all up for them and you to be happy and healthy. Well, for me, I've never met anybody that wouldn't do that, because in the end, didn't we chase everything just to be happy and healthy in the first place? And that's a great way to kind of, for all of us to remember, our health is truly our wealth. Our health is truly our wealth. And Dr. Robert Young has taught us principles and an ideology when it comes to how to look at the way our body works and what is actually nutrition and what's a proper diet, and the simple fact that everything we put into our system, spiritual, mental, thought wise, belief wise, it all actually matters. And we all kind of know that inherently, but he certainly put the scientific stamp on it. And, you know, for us to get to see what I feel is by far the greatest man alive, definitely the greatest man I've ever met. He certainly is the most humble and modest man out there. He keeps on publishing studies that makes big pharma's butt twitch. And, you know, he can't
sit where he is right now. In my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He, for everybody's information, he performed a study on cancer patients where 385 of them, cancer patients, and 83 of the 385 were terminally ill. So they're basically sent home by the traditional medical system to die. And hey, enjoy the last of your days, yada, yada. And he put 96% of this whole group of 385 people into 5 years past their prognosis or their death date. And he put 86% of the terminally ill stage 4 cancer patients into remission up to 10 years, for 10 years. Think about that. Now, then he did what anybody with creditable science or a credible clinical study does, which is make it valid so that the scientific community, the law system, or anywhere can't say that it's bad. And that is to have it pass the gold standard or the highest rigor of making something valid scientific, which is send it up for what is called the double-blinded peer-reviewed process. That is a process that is ironclad, Gail, and I'll give you an example as how this was proven in 2020 and 21. No COVID manufacturer, no big pharma manufacturer of COVID vaccines could buy off, corrupt, bully, coerce, trick, bamboozle, get around the system, and get a double-blinded and produce, have, own, make a double-blinded peer-reviewed article showing that their COVID vaccine was safe and effective. If they could have just paid billions of dollars or anything to do it, they would have done it. So when we're having this conversation about Dr. Robert Young, we must understand we're dealing with the most double-blinded peer-reviewed scientist alive by far. And he has been character assassinated like no other, because if people take the principles and information that he freely gives, and I suggest anybody can go to drrobertyoung.com, drrobertyoung.com. And if you want to know how Robert Young feels about a certain topic, you can go there and it has a search key and you can search out any topic you want to research. So if someone wants to research EMF waves or anything they can think of, they can put that into the search bar at drrobertyoung.com and they can see how Robert feels about the topic. And that's really interesting. You know, Robert Young is going to go down in history for a lot of things that he's accomplished. One of those accomplishments is going to be as the final formulator of MasterPeace. Quite frankly, uh, we're talking about a formula, MasterPeace, that has tested itself using in every single test a new third party analyzer, a new third party lab. So there's that legitimacy. And the studies that we have completed testing levels of toxins and forever chemicals, we've tested blood levels, hair levels, urine levels. We've done it. We've done a Bluetooth, a MAC address signal study that David Icke's film team, the iconic film production, filmed the entire study, proving that MasterPeace stops the Bluetooth signals. We did in that study. We did a recent study in the United Kingdom, which caught the eyes of everyone around the world, where we measured using the most sophisticated technical surveillance countermeasures equipment that is very expensive equipment that is meant to find wires, the most sophisticated, highest level wires or bugs in an area. And it's kind of strange because we tested bodies, human bodies, instead of areas. And guess what? We're wired. We're bugged.
Oh,
Everybody in the same locations
oh
on our
my God,
bodies.
really?
Yeah,
Even
we're
if you didn't
emitting
get
rate.
waxed.
We're emitting, like, you know how a radio at your on your in your car has a radio station. So
Yeah.
you have specific radio station frequencies, specific radio frequencies, and each one, everybody has them in the same location. And in those same locations, it tests for the exact same thing that's in every type of electronic equipment out there, which is a silicon based, graphene based electronic circuitry. So we're literally taking $20,000 equipment, literally, and testing people's human bodies. And then we're using the logical knowledge and information, which, to Dr. Robert Young's credit, he's been saying the whole time, this thing is the antidote. In any way that can prove it is going to prove it. And we know we can get graphene oxide out of the body in the study participants that we studied. Well, this system is got graphene oxide in it. We also know that there's silicon in the COVID jabs because Dr. Robert Young published on it. And we also know that we get silicon out of the system. So when we are testing the strength of these silicon-based electronic circuitry locations, we can say, oh, this is going to 85% or 50% or 100% strength from right here. And so, and I'll back up just so I can kind of explain this unique study, because this is going to be published on, and this one is going to wake the world up. We have scanned thousands of people. Jesse Beltran has scanned thousands of people since 2021, and every person alive has scanned for this transhuman electronic biosystem. Some people, the system is turned up. Some people, it's not. Some people are asymptomatic. These people you would see as like schizophrenics. They're hearing voices, voice to skull technology, targeted individuals. You will see this in people that get a weird buffeting in their torso in between usually 2 to 4 a.m. in the middle of the night. Extreme tinnitus, ringing in the ears, is probably the most common thing. Loud ringing, not just a little bit of ringing, but almost annoying ringing. And we're seeing it in the diplomats. We're seeing it in the intelligence agency officers. We're seeing whistleblowers come forward now with our research. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Now you said these points are in everyone. Now you're not
Yeah.
talking about the people that have been vaccinated necessarily or anything like that. Everyone.
Both.
How
Both. Yeah.
how does it get there? How did it get there on somebody who, I mean, I understand if they were,
I mean, so there's
got
going to
the
be a
COVID.
certain amount. There's going to be a certain amount of theories, and so my theory at one point is there's no way they would put it in the air, because then it would get in everybody, including the evil people's kids and lineage and all that. But what I found,
Cruel to their kids, but go ahead.
story. This is Everybody we're testing is is being tested and showing up, and everybody that is in politics, everybody of influence, is literally bringing in a new world right now with this fourth industrial revolution, where they are like Elon Musk, Noah Harari at the WEF. These people, RFK, are making comments about how these 5G towers are no good for us, about how AI coming after us is not like it could turn on us. Noah Harari is saying, hey, this is good for the people at the very top, but it ain't us. Noah Harari, who is pretty high up there in the globalist, rankings,
Yeah.
but this new fourth industrial revolution that they've been talking about at the WEF for a long time, the ploy, the bait to get everybody running, all the Klaus Schwabs, all the Silicon Valley CEOs, all the big pharma manufacturers in a frenzy, is because they thought they were going to get more power and money out the deal. But that was the trick, because that's how they can be corrupted. And the people at the very top, the ones that we don't know their names, look, Earth is a great big farm where the most important livestock is human beings. There's a lot of resources. There's gold, commodity, there's everything you can imagine, but human beings are the most lucrative livestock. And if we are aware that the farm is being poisoned, and that we're not, and that we're actually kind of enslaved invisibly, and we look around and we say, well, who's to blame? We're going to see people like Bill Gates. We're going to see people like, Klaus Schwab, the presidents, all these people that are blackmailed and acting crazy. But those, if we're seeing the farm hands in a big farm, Earth is a big farm. If you see their faces, if you know their names, they're not the ones at the top. They're taking orders from them. They're taking orders from those people. And this new world they're about to bring in, this AI automated, this dystopia that they have been counting on for millennia, is going to have the very few at the top controlling everything. And it means all the people that right now are totalitarians or above the law types, if right now they're currently above the law, they know their goose is cooked. And if they try to turn and deviate from the plan and stop, they get shocked by this system. This system can control them. Do you remember in Wuhan when people would go and then die? Remember that?
They circled around. Yeah, they'd look up and turn around and fall over.
That's everybody on Earth has this same graphene, ferric oxide, silicon-based electronic biosystem in them. Some are turned up more than others, but if it's turned up all the way, that's what happens. People will just die. They'll go here and die, or they'll be walking and they'll just collapse and die. You know that's not a natural way how people die. People don't die like that. That's
No,
not.
they sure don't.
That's the system being turned all the way up. So it can torture you. It can plague you with thoughts of laziness or apathy or just, complacency. It can drain your energy real bad, just leave you where you just almost have no energy to kind of make your way into, jumping into the fight and contributing at your best. They have everybody locked and loaded very well. This is all in the Epstein files. This is all in the Brain Initiative, people. Barack Obama signed it in. They've been spending $1 billion a year. Everybody look up the Brain Initiative. Guess what? Every gain of function lab, every biotechnology lab, every major university and nano lab that there is has had a compartmentalized aspect of figuring out how to run the mind. If you look up Project Artichoke and then you go to MK Ultra, this is MK Ultra on steroids. This is a real life problematic synthetic computer system that is very measurable, that is inside of everybody. And MasterPeace has been proven underneath being filmed every minute of the study by the Died Suddenly film crew, the most impeccably high reputation film crew. Them and Mickey Willis have the biggest reputation. Died Suddenly had like over 150 million views, very well known film and stuff. They have filmed everyone around the world. Yeah, they misappropriate nothing. They misappropriate no work or nothing. They're known for their credibility. They filmed it. They seen the results. Everybody taking MasterPeace, their endocrine system, their pineal gland, they start sleeping deeper. They start dreaming better. They start having more presence. They're more clear headed. It gets the toxins out. It replaces it with the minerals that we all need. Everybody needs to feel better so that they can do better. If they can think better and clearer, they can critically think more, because our world is getting taken from us right now. These are very serious apocalyptic times that we all need to find little ways, $1 a day with MasterPeace, to be able to be at a better version of yourself, because we all need each other at our best right now more than ever.
That is so true. Now, I I had an experience I with MasterPeace in the time that I had some, and that was I had someone do someone very special and able to see into the body, which some people might not believe or what have you. But I know it is true, because for one thing, I had a patch on, and she was able to see the patch. For another thing, she was told that whatever I was doing, I should keep doing it because it's having a very positive effect. And what the only thing different that I was doing at that time was taking MasterPeace.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
And so I had my own personal experience with it, which was, very positive. Sometimes it's difficult for me to get some of the things that I know are best for me, but nonetheless, I knew that I can say that it was working.
Yeah.
So
It
that's
absolutely
one
works.
thing.
I know for a fact, after witnessing all the studies, knowing all the testimonials, this is what gets me out of bed. This is what
Mhm.
motivates me to do what I do, because having the antidote and stewarding out the antidote, and it is very risky business in today's world. So I
Oh,
know,
yes.
I don't do it for money. I don't do it. I do it to help humanity. I do it because we need a better world, and I think it all starts with us, the people who got us into this mess. We allowed evil people to run the show. However,
Yes,
we
we did.
got tricked. Look, I'm taking responsibility. My part, I'm going to do everything I can so that our kids and our grandkids and their grandkids' future, there is a future. And, so I'm in this thing no matter what it does to me. And I know what that means. And I have very dear personal friends of mine that are the most innocent people on earth that are in prison right now for crimes that didn't even exist when they arrested them. That this is how phony baloney it is. And so, you know, with me knowing, with me knowing what's the risks, and I'm not doing it for any money or anything, and it would only be because this is the highest service that I can contribute into helping the world. And I would expect that any man out there that was in my shoes would better and the awareness of what's going on and how important it was. Their plan to work depended on poisoning the shit out of us. If they didn't, they wouldn't have put it in everything. They had to poison us for their plan to work. Listen, folks, any way you can test for a microplastic, a neurotoxin, gender dysphoria chemicals, toxic heavy metals, aluminum, mercury, lead, any graphene oxide, the components in the mRNA delivery system, or measuring the internal system that it builds inside of people. We've measured people in every type of proper chain of custody clinical study and filmed it. And filmed it. It's irrefutable. It's undeniable. This stuff will get it out of your body faster than it comes back in, but you have to take it. There is one time from what I see everywhere where taking MasterPeace, where it won't work for you. There's one way that it won't work for you. Hear me out. We've all been told everything's the greatest thing in the world, right? Well, if you take MasterPeace and then you set it on your shelf like you have all the other supplements and you don't take it regularly like you're supposed to, you only take it once or twice a week, it's not going to
Not going
work
to
for
work.
you. You live in a toxic cesspool where even when you're making your healthiest decisions, you can't avoid breathing it in. Okay? So you have to get it out faster than it's coming in, which means you got to take MasterPeace twice a day 5 to 10 drops each time is more than enough. Our studies are only done on 10 drops a day. So take 10 drops a day and you'll get amazing results. You will get out a lifetime of accumulated toxins proven in studies in like 3 months. That's incredible. That's 2 bottles of MasterPeace. Okay. And then, we're living in an environment where every last way you can think of your health, everything, every type of disease or problem you have with your mental, your psyche, your physical health, anything about you, your holistic well-being is being affected and totally attacked right now by these forever chemicals. It is effing us all up in every way. It is the root cause to why your health is not that great. My family, to me, is all the proof I mean, because it's in my face. But my kids have never been sick. They felt funky for like 5, 6 hours, and then their fever breaks, and it's like, oh, well, she's still playing, but she just feels warm, and then her fever breaks. I'm looking at all these other kids and stuff, and they get sick for like 10 days. I'm like, oh my gosh, where their parents don't know they feel like they got to take them to the hospital or something. People, we're not supposed to get sick like that. We're not supposed to have brain fog that is where we can't stay in a conversation and stay connected. You don't have brain fog. You're poisoned. Your kids and grandkids are not autistic. They're poisoned.
Yeah.
You don't have diabetes. You're poisoned. Your body can't function right. It's got too many poisons in there. If you actually were taking something, which now we have something proven, MasterPeace, you take something that gets out the poisons faster than they come back in. It's identical to saying it's getting out the root reason to every symptomology you have. Doesn't mean every single thing goes away perfectly and you never get a headache again. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that most everything, 60 to 85% of it, all the problems about health, it could be anything. Skin complexion, it can be anything. Your iridology chart, any way you can measure it that's reliable and quantifiable and objective will show you that you are much healthier. It's the poisons that are getting all of us.
Definitely. And having a way to get them out is really of paramount importance. And MasterPeace, I don't know of any other. Well, there's a few other things I claim to detox, but I think the price for MasterPeace is very reasonable for what you're getting. And like you said, I'm sure you could charge a whole lot more than you do. And it just
It was about that. It was a labor of love. And that's why the greatest nanocolloidal formulator of our time, Robert Young, is the one who actually did the final tweaks on the whole formula. So really it's to his credit. And anyone that looks at our blood tests, at our urine tests, or our hair tests, every one of them says in their mind it's not even capable, it's not even possible how effective this works, especially when people don't detox in Herxheimer like you would expect when someone's body is detoxing so strongly, so fastly. You would say, oh, that probably was uncomfortable. Well, no, because MasterPeace is two things. It's zeolite that is made super duper duper small, so it's 10,000 times smaller than your cells, and it's just a sea mineral. It's a sea mineral that has a magnetic charge that grabs toxins. And then we take sea minerals, and so the sea minerals magnetically stick to the clinoptilolite sea mineral. So it's literally a bunch of sea minerals. And it's the same sea minerals that you see in the cleanest parts of the world. If you go to the Greek islands, Fiji Islands, all the blue zones, you're going to see clinoptilolite, zeolite, which is what MasterPeace is. And it's going to be in an ocean of seawater. We take the healthiest, cleanest sea plasma minerals, and then we put that with the zeolite clinoptilolite that we get down super small. So when you take MasterPeace, it carries the minerals in, and once a toxin hits it, it splashes the minerals. The toxin hits the zeolite, magnetically hits it, which releases or displaces the minerals right where the toxin just got plucked from, just where it magnetically got grabbed out from, is where the minerals go right to it. so that people don't get a detox reaction, because there's no such thing as what's called mineral gapping, which is waiting for minerals to go there, which is why the body starts feeling icky and stuff. So there's no
Oh,
mineral
wow.
gapping. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's very interesting because I wondered why, they had that, I can't even say that, Herxheimer reaction.
Herxheimer, yeah. Yeah.
Herxheimer, yeah.
So,
That's very interesting. Wow.
so we take what we say.
Oh, we lost
Robert,
you
right?
there for a minute.
Yeah, that was Robert trying to call me. So,
Oh,
really, yeah, we want to look into nature, and we want to consider that the entire world is polluted. It's environmentally very polluted. And so we say, well, nature, earth, teach, show me where the cleanest part of you is. And I want to learn why it's so much cleaner there than anywhere else. And we use that simple kind of thinking. And that's how we come up with the formula of MasterPeace. And it removes aluminum, lead, mercury out of the body, polypropylene, PFOs, PFOAs, so much faster than the placebo group. It's like 200% faster. It's just something no one's seen anything like it before, and it helps people to in every way be their best version. Period. Because our bodies really do operate very well when they're not poisoned. If you get the poisons out, then the body can operate well. It's really simple.
yeah. That's, has anyone ever used it on their pets?
All the time, we have a masterpiece for pets. It works just as good on the pets as it does on us. We're all mammals.
Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting because they're exposed to everything too.
That's right.
And
Yep.
when they're very close to the ground outside too, for that matter, from all the different stuff that they've been spraying on us.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, that is one of the things that I think that has never been done by traditional medicine, is getting to the root cause of our problems. We're always giving medications to mask symptoms that, and they don't get to the root of the problem, when the very root of the problem is we're being poisoned.
That's right. That's right.
And
If you remove there's two categories of poisons, so it's very easy for us to understand. There's what they call radiation poisoning, which is all the invisible waves of all types, microwaves, radio waves, electromagnetic waves. And then we have, and I'm talking about synthetic waves. I'm not talking about natural EMFs that the earth gives off or anything like that. I'm not talking about our natural biofield. I'm talking about the synthetic electric grid.
okay.
So, and then the other one is forever chemicals. So I'm talking about every type of poison you can that you can name is a forever chemical, is what we call chemical poisoning. So there's chemical and radiation poisoning. It's so funny that that when they diagnose you with cancer, they think the way to treat your cancer is to give you chemical poisoning and radiation poisoning. They give you
I
chemotherapy,
know
which is chemical poisoning. Makes
it.
no sense. It's kind of like the
It
worst things you could
never.
give someone to kill them.
It
It's like to
never
kill them.
made any sense to me at all. A
Right.
lot of things I saw when I worked in a hospital, I did not understand, made no sense at all. It seemed very obvious that chemo didn't work.
Right. Right.
I saw many people go through and, come in and be fine and dandy and go through that treatment and be sicker than a dog and end up dying miserably. And it didn't help them at all. So it's
Right.
very troubling to see things like that, and to actually know that there's are methods out there. But this is where health freedom comes in too. The freedom to be able to use things like this, because they certainly our system has not been set up to deal with the root cause of anything really, um, from a health and medical standpoint.
Right.
Um, so Freedom Eagle just said because it's a revenue kickback.
Yeah. Well, the entire what they misappropriately termed the traditional medical system is certainly uh, created from the top down by Rockefeller, and It is right now we're seeing doctors make half the money they used to make, and so for them to make what they need to make, they have to do what the insurance companies give them for bonuses, which is things like vaccine schedules and stuff like that. We all know about that stuff. We also know that big pharma is the biggest funders to the lobbyists and to the political system that makes the laws and regulations. So they have the biggest influence on the laws and regulations, and they also are the biggest funders in marketing and promotional stuff. So they're the biggest advertisers, and they're also the only ones that if they kill us off with a bad vaccine, they can go whoops, pay a little bit of money and be off the hook. So they actually operate with total immunity. So they are absolutely above the law with the most influence, and their cash cow. Just so that everybody is very familiar with how this ties together, their cash cow, their $1 trillion a year industry is cancer.
Which is why we see radiation and poisoning as a method to supposedly kill the cancer cells while it's killing every one of your good cells as well. Um,
Yeah, there's no way to, you know, they absolutely are the linchpin. They're the ones responsible for keeping the population down through
we've
the
been
absolutely worst type of medical care system. That is,
we
it's ass
and
backwards the whole
we
way through.
are we are actually ranked the worst in the world. Our
Yeah.
healthcare is ranked the
Oh yeah.
worst in the world.
Oh yeah. We're fat here. We're not fat. We're toxic actually, because the appropriate way. Everybody's not fat. We are toxic. We are taking in more poisons than our body can handle, and so its way of protecting itself is to tumor up the fat. And so we're all ridiculously toxic fat compared to the rest of the world because Bill Gates owns our farmlands. Look at the people that used to go to Costco and all that. You'd see them, they kind of be in shape, and so they looked healthier and people. Now we see everywhere, anywhere, everybody is, we are much different looking than the rest of the world. As soon as they turn up the poisons in the rest of the world, they're all going to be exactly like us real quick. It's pretty crazy to see the difference with the traveling that I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you actually see cultures and people, and like I'm in shock sometimes at the size of people that I see sometimes, and you're going, how could that happen? You know,
Nobody wants to
and
be that way. So you have no
no.
answers because unless you understand how you got to hyperalkalize your body and you know it's really the root cause of what's leading to your weight problem. You know, the same thing that led to the weight problem is the same thing that leads to every other health problem. And until people have that roadmap and the pH miracle and the understanding that Robert Young shows everybody, you know, the health levels I have right now are much better than they've ever had in my whole life, and they keep getting better. And that's just because I implement and I'm better about the principles. And, you know, I juice my fruits and vegetables so much more now. And I stick to that. And, you know, I, I mean, I'm just never out of energy. And I have too much annoying energy for most people. And I'm doing my best on my mission. And I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't have the level of knowledge that I watched in the courtroom an email that Dr. Robert Young brought out to his attorneys, where it showed personal correspondence with him and Tom Brady, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Michael Phelps, the swimmer, Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, the Djokovic, the tennis player, Serena, the Williams sisters. I mean, all these top performing athletes in the world got the same protocol, the same diet per se that someone with stage 4 cancer gets. And it's to understand your biology and essentially choose rich, high alkaline foods that are raw. Eat like an animal eats, like we were shown to eat. Our, our creator didn't make our bodies to want cooked food when no other animal eats cooked food. They eat, they kill something and eat it right then, or they eat green stuff, but they don't cook it underneath the heat. We're doing all these things because we're trained and programmed to do it, but they're not healthy and they kill the energy and what's actually nourishing our bodies through it. And so all the little accurate things that he teaches us, when you start putting that into your life, your choices, oh my gosh, your weight, your everything, your physique, your mental clarity. For me, my compassion levels instead of judgment, everything improves.
Yeah. Well, it's and it's a shame that he's where he is right now, because he is capable of helping so many people, and he's still doing it anyway through the walls. Um, when they talked about safe and effective, they never did studies to be able to even say that terminology.
Right.
Not that, and that's a lie. And so they've lied to us about everything, and that includes healthcare. And I think people are beginning to see that and to look for solutions on their own.
Yeah.
And it's why I have someone like you and Dr. Young on. I would be having him on again if he was available, but I realize what the situation is, and it's disgusting, is what it is. He doesn't belong there, and please give him my love.
Absolutely.
Next time you talk to
He's
him.
the most innocent man we've ever known to be incarcerated. And I tell them that all the time. I said, don't you for a second think that you're in there for anything. You spent your whole life trying to teach and save and change people's lives and empower them with a real knowledge, so that their most important thing for them, which is, look, Gail, a man or a woman with good health, we have 1,000 dreams. But a man or a woman with bad health, has only one dream, and that's to have good health. Someone with bad health never has a dream to have a bunch of other stuff. They want good health. You know what I'm saying? That's how important it
Yeah.
is. And so Robert Young was challenging the entire big pharma system for us all. And I'm just so honored that I get to watch the greatest role model for a man around give me his wisdom and insight. And so he will be out probably in 2-3 months. When he is out, we
Oh,
will
good.
be
Oh,
able to
good.
all get our good doses of Robert again. So
Oh, fantastic. That's wonderful to hear. That he's getting out soon. That's wonderful.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, there are a lot of
Okay.
people that shouldn't be in the prison system. That's a series
Right.
that I've started. I've seen how they stack charges, and how it's a satanic system is what it is.
They say we're in the land of the free, yet for as far back as they can go, our country right now has more people locked up per capita than any country they've ever registered. I think that's the opposite of free. That's the opposite of the definition of free. And then now we're going to be blowing up. We're openly acknowledging countless people that we bombed 7 to 12-year-old girls,
That's
150 or
cool.
60 of them, and then when the parents and the emergency people went in to try to see if there's any survivors they could pull
They
out of the
bombed them
rubble,
again.
they bombed them again. They double tapped them.
That's
The
Israel for
people
you.
who are making the decisions in our country double tapped 7 to 12-year-old girls whose parents are in the military. They're naval intelligence officers. We are blowing up the military's kids in this country. Now they're going to come for us, and none of us asked for this fight. Nobody, no one, they never didn't ask us. He didn't even ask Congress and the Senate, which is supposed to be the legal way to do it. We all woke up and Iran had been bombed. Now we are living in this world where they might try to pull a draft for this
They
this
already did.
war.
They already did.
They
They
pulled the
already
draft.
They have a
Oh,
draft. It came in on some bill. I don't remember what bill it was, but I read that, unless that wasn't true. But I got the
I,
impression that it
I, I
was.
don't know. I just know that we are
Yeah,
in a. I
it's,
mean, they're doing the
it,
most to provoke. They're doing the most to provoke Iran into a long war, and they're by the way we are attacking these civilians and stuff. They're civilians, and then at the same time, we are doing everything. We're probably going to do false flag events real soon because hey, nobody's going to support this war unless we're taking some casualties. If we get blown up a little bit, whether it's by friendly fire or not, then and so we can kind of expect some of that to start happening.
There's quite a few incidents where people from the the illegal immigrants that come in have killed totally innocent people for no
Yeah.
reason at all.
Yeah.
That's kind of like letting loose some of the.
I don't think the ICE thing was a bad idea because I think we were overran.
I don't either.
I don't feel.
That's an
I
invasion.
feel like that was taken out of context. A lot of it. I think they took the couple real bad situations and they made the most. They're not showing the fact that they got 1-2 million people out of the country that shouldn't be here, and then they show the couple situations. But that could be. It's hard to tell, but I can tell you that having a bunch of illegal people come into the country just because they offer a vote for the people who made it so that they could come into the country is ridiculous.
And they get free assistance, free housing, free food, driver's license, the whole 9 yards. Things that they don't even give to the people that are actually American that were born here.
Absolutely.
So it's people have to stand up and speak up. It's really gotten to that point. And they have to do
It's going to take the very best of us. It's going to take the best of the women. It's going to take the best of the men. Men need to act like men. Women need to know their role. Women don't get in the front lines trying to throw punches. We all need to get into order of what we do together, and it's going to take the best contribution of all of us. I highly suggest everybody helping themselves be at their best mentally and physically, and the poisons are kicking your butt. Everybody needs to be on MasterPeace. Don't worry, it was made to be as low cost as it possibly could be for all of us, because I was fully aware that you guys were not winning the lottery before the day before you were finding out about MasterPeace. You need to be on it. Everything about your sleep, the way you feel, the restfulness, the presentness that you'll have, the awareness, the daily joy, your mood for no reason at all. It all improves when you're depoisoned. It really does. So, and, however you can find where you can help and contribute into changing our world, I really do believe it's going to take all of us doing what we can, not sitting back waiting for a savior. Guess what? All the saviors, it was all tricks now. We can see it now, right? All this peace president crap and all this other stuff, it was all tricks. It's going to take us. We need to get off of our hands, get our heads out of the sand, and let's all start doing some stuff here. So I need to go.
That's why I do what I do, Matt. That's why
right.
I do what I do.
I love what you do. That's why we support you all the way. We truly do.
Thank you. And I support Dr. Robert Young, and I support MasterPeace as well. And I know you got hit hard when you first came out with it too. And it could be expected. When something works, you're in trouble.
Right.
Okay.
When you start throwing the tables up everywhere to the over-the-counter thing, the big pharma, to all the alternative and health everybody that tells you got to take 20 things to be healthy, and then something comes along and says, "Hey, get out the root cause, and your body will figure out the rest." No, that nobody wants MasterPeace around.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'm going to let you go. I know you have another meeting, and we can do this again sometime. And please keep me informed about what's going on when Dr. Robert comes out and those films that you're talking about. I want to see all that, and I will definitely feature it on my show. So
we have a huge film that's just waiting for him to walk out. We're going to get the film footage of him walking out. We're going to catch an interview with him, and it's called Died Suddenly 2 Nanosapiens. It'll be amazing for everybody. The first Died Suddenly got 150 million views, and we are about to really open up the eyes of everybody into what real solutions look like, and to what we are actually up against. And we're going to see it in the research facilities, the real science. Yep.
That is so
awesome.
Wonderful.
All righty, Gail. Have a beautiful evening.
You too. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad you came on. Same to you.
Yes, ma'am. Have a beautiful evening.
Care. Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me find my clip here. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that.
a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show.